I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. Yeah. Flowers are the art and bullets are the struggle. We are organizers creating outlets for underserved youth and communities which highlight the life we live and the places that we come from. By sharing skills, promoting place-based connections in the barrio, and listening to each other's stories, we promote sustainable ways of living. These ways of life address some of the traumas in our community caused by disproportionate minority incarceration, drug addiction, physical and mental violence, food insecurity, health issues, and economic disparity. These are the words of Flowers and Bullets, and they merge sustainability, art, and rebellion to liberate, heal, and empower here in Tucson. And today, I'm fortunate to speak with my friend that's introducing me to this great organization, Raul Aguirre, disruptor here in Tucson, just to promote good information and help me make new friends. Raul, welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Hey, boo-boo. This is called the Ranger. How are you? Good to see you, Frank, and good to be here with your audience. It's a wonderful opportunity to share some of the great work that this organization is doing. Flowers and Bullets, started very young, very active. Now they're grown up a little bit. Now they're growing the organization, and it's wonderful. The last time that I was here, we were talking about the Ivy League program, And, to me, it's kind of similar because we're doing education and all that kind of stuff. And I want to give a shout out to my wife, Corina, who is the spark plug of the Ivy League program. She's getting an award from the foundation, the Victoria Foundation in Phoenix, for supporting students that want to get to the next level of leadership. And I think, so congratulations to her and all the people who have supported us. But when we talk about Flowers and Bullets, the missions are intersect with what we do, helping the community rise up, become more independent, be stronger, well-informed, and most of all, be active. And Dora Martinez
who's that? Wait a minute. Hang on.
is
Dora
here,
Martinez.
and you're going to introduce her.
Oh, there she is. Look at that. Dora Martinez is here. This is what Raul does. He just brings in guests. I don't even know who's showing up. Founder and board chair of Flowers and Bullets. Dora, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Oh, good morning. It's so good to see you and be here with you and Raul. Thank you for having me on your show. Hi, everyone.
I'm very excited because Raul, you could hear him. He's the best, right? He's doing so much good work for the youth, so much good work for the community here in Tucson and Arizona. And really, your wife, congratulations to her. But that's excellent that you found that this had kind of a commonality where you're just helping people, helping the community grow. And boy, have you been, because what an organization. I was looking on the website over at flowersandbullets.com and reading about some of the history. And as you walked in here, I kind of made the joke of like, wow, what a young organization, a young 501c3. And you've only been at it since, tell me the origins. Well, I guess I gave a little bit of it. Why don't you give us all the 101 history on what Flowers and Bullets is all about?
Yeah, thank you so much. So Flowers and Bullets, FMB, started in 2012. Our other two co-founders, Tito Romero and Jacob Robles, came from the TUSD Mexican American Studies programs. And around that time, they were hired by TUSD when they were trying to dismantle the program. They were let go of their jobs. Okay. And they're both artists. And, they wanted to express themselves. And that led to putting images on shirts, hats. They started a clothing company. And then later, you saw murals everywhere in the city. They were some of the first folks who, really took some of the storytelling in our community and put it up so that everybody could have access to it.
Sure.
I met them shortly afterwards. My background is in farming and sustainability, and I was working in Cascabel, Arizona, bringing some seeds over when we would, get together, grow things. And that's how we, hit it off. And that turned into other people coming and seeing what we were growing and starting up conversations. And I was like, these conversations get really deep really fast. And we were becoming aware of some of the inequities that we were living on a day-to-day. And instead of, going to a therapist which I think that everyone should go to a therapist, I think it's really important. This doesn't substitute it. Anyways, during those moments, it was really healing for me. And I saw what it did to our community. It brought us together. And so that's how it started. That turned into, 13 little gardens in the community, which turned into now a 10-acre farm.
Yeah, that's what's blowing my mind. So that's what it started as. So you met these fine folks. You were getting together and started a community project of just kind of a small community garden, right? And then you started putting things together. This was 2019 to 2020. So then in 2021 to 2023, at the heart of the site, you installed ADA accessible pathways. That's part of the American Disabilities Act, so that everybody can get on in there. There's basins, there's swales. Is that how I pronounce that?
Yeah. So these things that you're talking about, particularly the basins, the swales, that is to collect rainwater.
Right.
These are, we call them passive systems to collect water for our desert. Our aquifer needs to be recharged, right? That water is a problem in our desert. And so for us, it's really important that our community also has access to this technology because it comes from our communities, right? These are indigenous technologies, and we are seeing the green economy capitalizing on them and leaving our people behind. And so we not only do it out on our site and in each other's homes, but we also teach workshops. We partner with different organizations that are leading those efforts here at a city level, county level, but also small businesses. There's a ton of landscapers out there that do an incredible job, and all they need is a little bit of professional development to learn about our particular climate and our particular desert.
Very smart. It's all the devil's in the details, isn't it? And when you're in the desert, you kind of think about the devil a lot because those sun devils, my goodness. And it really is something, right?
And the beauty of nature,
Yes.
I think, that a kid can see a caterpillar, that you can see bees swarming around and other insects, which bring life into all of us in society.
Yeah, and even again, I'm looking at the website. There's a section where you are talking about helping out the bees. You're working on that program. Is a newer one that's going to be coming out a bit further in the future. And as we go down still this history lesson, it's great because this was going on 21 to 23, but now as you finish there in 2024, it says, we bought the school. I'm reading this. I'm like, wait, what? And in March 2024, you officially closed on a 9.7 acre property, the former Julia Keene Elementary School. So you've now gone from a group of folks making stickers and shirts because you believe in what you're doing to getting together and starting a small community garden to then I stopped you and you said, then we had about 13 of them and then 30 and then now a 10-acre area. That's incredible. And in less than a decade.
Oh my gosh. It feels, it's so much work. Like you said in 5 minutes.
Saying, I'm feeling a little bit old.
Right.
Now you're so young.
Right. But you all started this kind of in your teens and in your young 20s now. That's what's incredible to watch is to look at you sit on the board, as we're saying, and I'm like, look at the youth here and look at you empowering so much because I talk about it here on Lifestyle Tucson a lot. And I've mentioned it to Raul, like the Lions Club and the Rotary Club and things like this. They don't have newer, younger people getting involved. And these organizations really do a lot more than you would think in our community. And they always kind of did back in the day. And you need young folks to either get involved or to get inspired and start a cause that they believe in, like you've done here. So it's really something very incredible.
I believe in that so hard. I think that the young folks want to participate. We want to participate. There's a lot of challenges especially in nonprofits. They're shifting. They've been changing. And sometimes, respectfully, we also need folks to get out of the way so that we are able to do something, right? Like if there's not a vacant spot for me to be able to join, I'm going to look somewhere else for that.
And we need to make space for you. And I mean we because, I'm on the other side of the intergenerational age group. But I believe in that. I think one of the best things that I always do is say, let me leave this board and let me bring somebody young.
Yeah.
And not because they're only young or because I'm older, but because you need to be refreshing and utilizing the talents that we have. You know, we have so much talent in this community that sometimes goes, wasted because we're not opening that door and we're not saying, hey, let me mentor you or let me get you ready. And sometimes young people feel like, I'm not ready. No, you are.
Yeah.
Let's throw you into the water. You're going to be fine. So I'm glad you're doing that.
That's exactly, and that's the type of person Raul is absolutely, because it is that. And sometimes we do just need that little push, to be thrown out on the water. I've done that to a friend. It's one of my favorite memories where we're about to go on stage for something. He's like, okay. And I give him the whole rundown. He's like, all right, so wait, what I'm going to do? And I just go, you're going to be great. And I just push him out on the stage. And it was so funny, but he crushed it. He crushed it. You could not have convinced him any amount of pep before that. I'm like, you'll be great.
Yeah.
He had it. And that's the thing, is that you do need to do that. Get a bunch of good citizens involved. I've also noticed that when it comes to young people, and even post-COVID now and all that, getting together is a little tougher. And I think that some of us just are a little more, and I know I suffer from this, I'm like codependent when it comes to certain things that I don't know. But man, if I have a buddy, I can do it.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And that's the idea, is make friends with people doing the things that you want to do. Don't make your friends do the things that you want to do, because that doesn't always work. And I've noticed that my whole life. It is go find these groups and volunteer with them. If you've got this feeling in your heart, there's a group for you here in town. And certainly your group is doing so much great stuff. So tell me about some of the other programs that you've got going on.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Before I tell you that, what you just said reminded me. Can I
please
share something? I hadn't heard this until recently. This idea of like they call them third spaces.
Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna misrepresent them because I'm not very versed on it. But my understanding is that we have these places that we kind of we live in our home, right? And then maybe our job or our school is our second space. But what are these like third spaces where we build community and also these other parts of our persona or as human beings? Where are we developed, right? Our empathy and sense of community, belonging. And Flowers and Bullets is that, right? For a lot of us, it's not for everybody. But when you were saying like, sometimes it's hard as young people because where are those third spaces right now? Everything is either, too expensive, inaccessible. Maybe
or the iPhone is taking over as a third space.
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
Digital platforms.
No,
and,
there are digital third spaces for sure. But access to land, access to a
sun,
space,
wind.
This is really what we need in order to congregate, right?
Right.
But anyways, I wanted to share that. Back to remind me your question.
That's
projects.
That is very important because it is that, and I feel that the iPhone, it is a digital third space, but it's a placebo third space because you're not getting the connection in the community that people are actually often seeking, and a digital third space doesn't dig a hole and plant a tree.
Totally,
and
totally.
That's the difference.
Totally, you can learn about beekeeping. You're not going to get honey from your phone.
Right. So let's talk about all these programs that are, and maybe we will find the fit for someone out there listening. Because maybe you don't want to dig a hole, but at the same time, maybe you do care about bees.
Yeah.
And that's what's in the future as well. And then also, maybe you have an idea for something they're not tackling yet that might fit the program.
Absolutely.
So talk about some of the fun stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, I'll talk about a few. So related to the farm itself. So these are programs that are connected, on the site itself. We have work days every second Saturday of the month. I invite all of you every second Saturday, no matter your age. We love the littles out there. Our elders. And a work day could look like, today we are planting corn. Like the field manager got everything ready for us. So that second Saturday, we just plant. Or maybe for today, we are rehabilitating all the benches. Maybe we're sanding and we are just going to paint all the benches. Sometimes we partner with some of our neighbors and maybe they need us to get some old weeds out of their front yard, right? And so these are the types of things you can expect on a second Saturday. We always have food vouchers because they're on a Saturday, and we have a tianguis, which will be the next project that I share about.
A tianguis is a swap meet type, a gathering place, an old word.
Open air market. This tianguis has food vendors. It has, arts. It also sells a lot of like gently used household articles of clothing, that sort of stuff.
Okay. When is the next one of those going
Yeah,
to be?
it's every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Great.
We highly encourage you to bring cash. It is a cash economy.
Yeah, good.
And
people look at me like I'm some sort of caveman when I try to pay with that paper money.
Right. Amazing, right? You can even go to a bank and say, here's the money, now you can have cash. What?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen recently the change, the coins have been an issue. Yeah.
Yep. Nobody wants them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, they forgot about Benjamin Franklin and, save your pennies and your dollars will take care of themselves. I don't know.
Yes. So highly encourage everyone to come out and support these vendors. These are food traditions that have been around since time immemorial. And we are so, so lucky to have access to some of the similar cooking that our grandparents, that our great-grandparents, that our great-great-great-grandparents were eating. And I don't take that lightly.
Yeah. No, that's very, very important. When I talk to some of the gardens around here, like Mission Garden and all these great folks, that it's about keeping tradition for honoring the area and the heritage of it, which you talk about quite a bit on the website. So that is quite the important thing to pay attention to and to also just experience and live it. Yeah. There's nothing like doing something, as a group. I always say this joke all the time. My favorite thing is when a ragtag group of kids gets together and puts on a show or does a project. And then you can't help it if you've ever really made something or done something, even as a group or especially as a group. When you then go back and you're going to see that bench that you kind of helped fix, you're going to feel something for that bench, which is fascinating. It's a fascinating thing because you took part in it. It's like a sense of ownership. And then the more you get involved, think of how much ownership you're going to have over this entire feeling of the organization and just your involvement with it and the friendships that you start and the bonds you form. Let's ask about this. Why the name Flowers and Bullets?
Great question.
Revolution.
Revolution. Flowers because it's the duality. Yeah, it's the duality.
The beauty.
It's the beauty, it's the resistance, it's the it is the struggle, you know? We see such incredible talent in our community. We have some of the best artists. We have some of the best cooks in our community, and they have gone through it. It doesn't just come out of the blue. Like, folks are holding their hearts. Folks are struggling to get by, and yet they show up. We recently had a tragedy in our community. We had one of our youngest members die last Friday. From a car accident. Her mom, our member, Bree, was driving and was struck by two young folks who were racing in the middle of the day. And where I'm going with this is that was so hard for our community, and we've all experienced something, not the same thing, but the way we rally around it and we're able to just provide an ear, provide a meal, provide, some childcare. It is how our people are able to make it right now because there's so many social services that are getting cut. There is a ton of pressure from the federal government right now. And so these are the spaces that are helping our community in these times.
Yeah. Watching what has been going on these days as a straight white dude, I can't imagine how it must feel to be a person of color or a minority in this day and age. Yeah. Because I have my friends talking about that they feel scared. And I'm like, well, imagine how other folks might feel because you get to hide in plain sight with your fear because no one's coming to bother you. And that's where you got to bring up that is the privilege that people speak of, especially with what's going on these days. You can hear how angry I'm already getting, but that's the thing about it.
Imagine that.
Well, you kind of have to get upset because how can you not? And it's a travesty when things like this happen. And I'll just say, it's not just this presidency This is a
Absolutely.
constant thing that happens when certain people are involved or in charge. And boy, they sure do love telling people to pick themselves up by their bootstraps in an entire country where a bunch of people can't even afford the boots. And that's what I learned on the first episode of this show. And that's why it is important to get together, because you need that strength. You need that strength of community.
Yeah.
And seriously, what it is for what you're doing might be the thing that lots of people need, because the fear going around these days is palpable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's the isolation that is
Yes.
also really, killing us right now.
It comes up in every episode that loneliness is an epidemic, and it's only getting worse. So loneliness is a big deal, which is why I'm always trying to get people to get involved in something.
Yeah. And you don't have to start an organization. If you do,
Thank
do
you.
it. Absolutely. Call us. We're happy to
Join
share.
others,
Yeah,
yes.
we're happy
Right.
to share, our trajectory, which is not the trajectory. It was how it was our path. But I do think that, simple acts like getting a library card and meeting people at the library. It's, hosting a potluck.
Well, a great third space. That
yeah,
nice
what a great-
free
yes,
library.
yes,
Have you
third
been to
space.
the libraries lately?
Lately, yeah.
A lot of them are brand new.
Yes.
A lot of them have video games, kids. Okay.
Yes.
But
And
that's the thing.
they have a beautiful kids section, right?
Yep.
Family friendly. That the libraries is where my son and I spend our summers, because it is just it's just such a perfect third space, like you just said.
And also local bookstores, that have been there struggling and giving to the
Yeah.
community. I think those are also very important.
I agree.
And the antidote, I think, that Flowers and Bullets provides is what the legendary, counselor to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, Sabina, the Mexican curandera, the healer, said, "Come out. Let the sun, the wind, let nature heal you." Mother Nature right now, as a great mother of all of us, is screaming
Yeah.
and is reacting to all that we do to her. And I think we need to congregate, get out there, get our hands dirty. I always say, let the kids drink from the hose, right? Because otherwise, that is where healing takes place. And I want to thank you, Dora, because I think that's what you guys do so much of. And I'm glad you're here with Frank.
Because hose water, truly, honestly, the elixir that kept us all alive growing up. But yes,
That and mud.
as you say it, do you know what word comes to mind? As you said, everything right there. I'm like, the one word ringing in my head is just the word harmony. Harmony with the earth and harmony with each other. And that is the thing. Sorry, you could feel the vibe. That's what a lot of this is these days. And the vibe has not been great. But getting together in our groups and with each other and intermingling. And
we
really,
need each other.
Yes.
I think the separation that people are trying to make is wrong.
Absolutely.
And as we gather, we always trying to welcome more people. Don't isolate yourself. Join in. Come in from all parts of this city and of this society, because we all need each other.
Yeah, and come exactly as you are.
Well
Messy, imperfect. Like, I feel, speaking for myself, what prohibits me from joining a space is, do I have all the requirements, right?
expectation, right?
Yeah, do I meet all these expectations that, frankly, I'm putting on myself, right? Come as you are, right? Like, we need to see the mess. We need to work through it. Come and grieve here. Don't grieve in isolation. We need to collectively grieve. We need to see each other's hearts and cry together, but also laugh together, right? These are moments to celebrate in collaboration and collectives. It's so important to witness each other.
Is there more stuff that's on your mind? Because I like to ask some lofty questions. Some of them are just like, if you had one wish for your organization, what is that wish?
Yeah, give me a minute to think of that, because, one wish for my
As
organization.
she thinks, I want to remind people of a famous quote that we just heard here today about isolation and the digital platforms and young people. You can learn about beekeeping on your iPhone, but you're not going to get any honey.
That's right. And that was a good quote.
Dora Martinez.
Stitch it on a pillow.
Yes.
Right?
I think that's
That's
so
right.
powerful, because that is true.
Thank you.
here's
And
the
that's
thing.
all I got to say.
Hey, that's the other thing about it, because we are talking about getting involved. So there's ways to do it, because they're a great organization, a nonprofit. You can donate some money. It's a great way to support everything that they're doing, because they're working so hard, working together, and doing something for us all here in town. You can get involved, or you can donate your time. Donate your time if you're able to volunteer. And like she's saying, all ages, little kids will get involved too. This way they can play in the dirt. That's right. Bring the family for a day. You don't need a sitter. You can get involved, and they'll find something for you to do on these great second Saturdays, on these great weekend things, all that fun stuff. There is a donate button right at the top of the page over at flowersandbullets.com. And you can also go follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Looks like they have a YouTube channel as well. So this way you know what's going on. All right, back to you. Yeah. What is your one wish?
My one wish for Flowers and Bullets is that folks get involved with Flowers and Bullets anyway. There are a million ways to get involved. Like you just mentioned, you can volunteer, you can donate. They can also donate to specific programs. So one that we need funds for is our kitchen. We are in the process of building a commercial kitchen, and yeah, any support with that would be great. The other program is our child care. We run some farm camps when the schools go on breaks. A lot of our community needs, support while those breaks are happening, and so we run week-long camps. If folks want to donate to our kids' care, that would be fantastic.
There you go. A lot of specific ways to get involved, and obviously one of the best ways, just go down there and go get involved. I think I have some addresses and numbers. Make sure that this is all correct. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to noon. You can give them a call at 520-834-0152. Shoot them an email, flowersandbullets@gmail.com. But they are located, the Midtown Farm, 3538 East Ellington Place here in Tucson, Arizona, 85713. So maybe you want to go say hi, because today we made friends with Raul Aguirre, disruptor, revolutionary, and my good friend here in Tucson, as well as Dora Martinez, founder and board chair of Flowers and Bullets, reclaiming culture, amplifying voices, and building community. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Frank. You're amazing as always.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing, bong, bing. Time for a recap. What a great conversation. No, Raul, you're amazing. And so is Dora. I'll tell you, Raul is really like a hero of mine locally in town ever since meeting him. And he does just call me up and say, hey, I have another organization. You should talk to them. They're doing great stuff. And it's really important that people in town do this. And he is such a big person in town, a disruptor, but really a great neighbor, a real neighbor to great folks here in the community, and shining a spotlight on a lot of great spaces that I wouldn't know about at all, because I'm limited by my culture and what I'm aware of and what's relevant to me and my experience. You can only do so much. So it's great when other people just bring theirs. And I always do it in the recap at the end. But if you know a nonprofit, or you care about one or are part of one, email me at lifestyletucson@gmail.com and we'll talk all about it, because we did learn a lot. Again, Raul, a hero, but so is Dora. Look at the stuff that they did. Listen to how great they are, what they're doing over there at Flowers and Bullets. Shoot them an email at flowersandbullets@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, flowers_and_bullets, and go find them on Facebook. But yes, Flowers and Bullets is a great organization here in town. You can get involved with them by doing everything that there is to do over at flowersandbullets.com. Make sure you get involved with all the fun stuff they're doing on the weekends, but specifically on second Saturdays, and go enjoy all the community events and culture that they are bringing to the community on a 10-acre farm. There's certainly something for you to do there, so maybe go get your hands a little dirty and volunteer, make new friends, fight loneliness, and do it together by getting involved with Flowers and Bullets. So, I want to thank our new friends over at Flowers and Bullets for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program and to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are. Viva la revolucion! Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And Toot Toot Tucson, I love you the most.